Yo, mahalo guys, thank you for checking into this second video of our Electromotion Escape R review. Now the first one, that was for the general population, for the noobs, for the new guys, for the guys getting into it, for the guys thinking about it, you know, like what is this bike all about? Now this video is for you guys, the guys who already have Electromotions, who already love the bike, or you don't have the bike yet but you're super interested in what's new. Okay, this video is for you guys. We're just gonna go over just the main parts of what changed on the bike as opposed to every little thing. Yeah, what made the bike better since 2022? That's our review coming up. Mahalo. Well, right off the bat, you can tell this domino throttle is a lot better constructed than the Mogura. I do think it's more bulky. The Mogura was actually pretty slimline, but I don't know how many guys I know ruin their Mogura throttle by just putting on a grip. You know, I don't think we should be as rough with this domino as well, but just by feeling it and just by like messing around with it, and I've actually seen inside one of these before by accident, they're actually way better built. So good on Electromotion for going to a domino throttle. I like that. The second thing, and the one thing that I like about this bike, is that they have actually taken the map switch and flipped the buttons. As you can see, before 22, the FRB was up here and the map switch was down here. I made a comment or something, and you know, I'm sure other people did it too, where they flipped their switch so that the FRB would be on the bottom and the map switch would be on the top. And if you don't have the PRB-R or the PRB, if you're not looking to spend an extra couple hundred bucks for that attachment, which I highly recommend because they are very well made and it's amazing how it works. If you're not into that, because this bike comes with the FRB already, now when you're going downhill, you can just come down here and push your FRB instead of getting up here and pushing your FRB. That didn't really work. I mean, it was not comfortable at all, and it's almost sketchy. If you're going down a real steep hill, you don't want to be letting go of your grip, you know? But why not take advantage of all that regenerative property? And with the button down here, you can actually even use it for regular riding. Like if you're going in a straight line and you want to slow down, you can hit that, no problem. You know, it's actually okay. Okay, this is a small one, but good one, yeah? So you see that little plastic or metal strip across the mud flap? I mean, before the mud flap was only held on by those screws. And let's be honest, that was a junk design. Like the mud flap would pull out of the screws, or the screws would pull out of the plastic because it was under high tension, blah, blah, blah. But now they just put a little metal piece across it. That's like a flat washer, and now it holds it on. It's a lot more sturdy. Even if you tug on it, it's way more sturdy. And it's probably not gonna come off and flap around and get stuck in your tire like it did before. So that's a good one. Again, we mentioned this earlier. Now there's a rubber gasket over the switch, and that is great. Now I don't have to put my foam sponge in here when I wash my bike anymore to protect the switch. Now there's already a plastic covering on it. So that is awesome. Thank you, Electromotion. Okay, and last but not least, these. And if you don't know what you're looking at, check out another video. These metal inserts or gussets, and they have them on both sides. This takes up the gap between the frame and this part here. And why that's so important is because in the past, I've had a crash on my 2020, and it kind of bent the frame in just a little bit. Not noticeable, like I couldn't really feel it when I was riding, but I knew it was there. And now 2023, they've gotten rid of this problem by just putting this piece of metal, and now this whole piece is framed up. It's solid. It's not gonna go anywhere. Sometimes you have a crash where, I mean, heaven forbid, you have a crash and it pushes on the peg. All the weight of the bike is on the peg and the peg doesn't fold. You know, it just goes straight into it, and you have a lot of leverage from here to basically here is where the next fulcrum point was prior to having that gusset. And all that pressure just makes the frame go like this. Yeah. It's still solid. It didn't get brittle or anything. It just looks weird because it's a little bit wanked out. Now that is eliminated. All right. And last but not least, the best thing that Electromotion has done to improve their new 2023 Escape R, and this is also available on the ePure Race as well. And I was blown away by it. I dedicated a whole video to it. Go check that out. It's the anti-rollback video. Now, I wasn't a big fan of anti-rollback. I thought it was just a gimmick. You know, I thought, you know, basically what the anti-rollback video showed me was, oh, you know, if you're on a hill like we are, it's a little slope right here. Like if I let my foot brake, I have my foot brake on, but if I let my foot brake go, you see we just kind of roll backwards. Okay, so this is it's a real slight hill. Yeah, it's a real slight hill. But I'm gonna hold. If I get into a situation where I need to hold my FRB, normally I would have to hold the button the whole time, and that would create the resistance that the FRB provides, and I can rely on that. Now they have this thing called anti-rollback, what basically is kind of like a little parking brake. So instead of holding the button constantly while in map, of course, all I have to do is, so now I'm loose, right? Okay, all I have to do is press the button one time, and I'm not holding the button, but it's under regenerative braking. It's almost like a parking brake, you know? It's almost like a parking brake. It's kind of cool. So even for when I get off, if I didn't have, let's go forward. And when you give it throttle, when you progress the bike forward, the anti-rollback disengages. So now that I gave it some throttle, now the bike is free to roll. Okay, so let's just use this as an example. Okay, so the bike is freewheeling. You see how it wants to roll backwards? I just push that, and now it's in anti-reverse. The regen is locked. The regen is locked, and it'll stay locked until I give it some throttle, and now the whole bike rolls. Press the button once, and now it's in anti-rollback. So it's almost like a parking brake. Check out the video above. I go into the whole thing and the whole scenarios and how anti-lock can help for your riding and just everyday use of the bike. It's a different concept, but like everything else, Electromotion has surprised us with a lot of different concepts. So hope you guys are excited about the new things like I am. Check out the other videos, and please, if you like what you see, subscribe and hit that notification button for the new videos that are coming out. I hope this helps. Till next time, aloha.